Well, Gina asked me about scar tissue breakup below the waist. With scar tissue, you do want to break it up as much as possible, but after major surgery or anything like that, try to wait 4 to 6 weeks before you start breaking up that scar tissue because you don't want to injure or damage anything that's not totally healed yet. Scar tissue is great for the short term, but for the long term, it contracts. You don't get as much range of motion. That's the problem with scar tissue. Cross fiber friction is one of the better techniques for that. What you're doing, let's say the scar is going like this, you're going across the grain, of course, and you can just go a little bit deeper each time for the scar tissue to break that up. And that can be done 2 to 3 times a day, maybe a minute or two each time. But if it's ever really sore to the touch, let's say the second or third time during the day, give it a break and try it maybe tomorrow or the next day. Some topical things that you can use for that is cocoa butter. Usually it's better when it first starts to try to put cocoa butter on there. Some people believe in it, some people don't. But some people use that for like stretch marks, those kind of things. Also, another good topical thing is vitamin E capsules. So what you do is just poke a hole in the vitamin E and you can just rub it on that area. You can also put it in some oil too. So in some regular like carrier oils like extra virgin olive oil if you don't want to put it directly on you. So just make sure you're not allergic to that area too. So do a little patch test, just a little area on your skin, on your body. And after a couple minutes, if you start breaking out or it starts turning red, you know not to use it on other parts of the body then. So you just wash it off right away then. Another form is myofascial release. With myofascial release, what you're doing is it's a slow, deep glide. So what you're doing is you're starting like this, and after a few minutes, you might be like this. Myofascial release is kind of hard to demonstrate or really understand, but you're not really sliding on the skin at all. You're trying to slide on the fascia, or fascia, some people call it. The fascia is connective tissue, which holds everything in place. So it holds muscles, organs, everything in place then. So you're trying to elongate that then too. I've seen videos of people, if they do that once a day, at least for a couple months, you can see a difference in the texture of the scar tissue then. But again, you got to be faithful with these kind of techniques too. So again, what you're doing, you can even do it just with one hand too. So you're just going to slowly, what you're going to do is kind of push at a 45-degree angle. So you're not going to try to push straight like this. So if you actually see yourself moving, you're more likely doing it wrong. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of push like this. So after a few minutes, your fingers might be over here. So, but just to try to break it up that way. Then, so again, there's no guarantee with anything with breaking up the scar tissue, but even range of motion stretching sometimes does wonders too. And I myself, a nice one I like to do is kind of a ratchet technique. So I'm going to hold and kind of stretch out that area. Hold, stretch out that area. So you can elongate it, kind of break it up that way. So it's kind of a forced way of breaking it up. Or what you can do is you can glide and stretch it out too this way. Another option, some chiropractors are skilled at this technique. It's called the Graston technique. They're using metal bars, and what they're doing is they're kind of grinding on those areas. So if you Google anything with Graston, Graston technique, you can get a lot of information on that. So you can find out the practitioners around your area that perform that kind of technique. But it's a pretty spendy workshop. Sometimes it's like $2,000 plus to go to one of the workshops, and the tools are really expensive too. So that's why it's more chiropractors that tend to get into that area than massage therapists. So I hope that helps them. If you have any other comments or questions, please leave them below then. And thank you.